Hey, what's up, everybody? Just got done watching the Trump summit. Actually, it was called the Crypto Summit, but I call it the Trump Summit because they were just basically kissing his ass for 15 minutes and they really didn't say too much. But I still think it is pretty good because they kicked the media out. Obviously, that wasn't the whole meeting, right? They basically, this meeting is without the media, is nobody knows what's going on. So probably they're going to say some things and we're going to get reports later on as to what was said during the meeting. Maybe some announcements, maybe some partnerships, maybe hopefully something like that. Or if not, then just some dialogue of having to go forward with what they already know and what they've already said they were going to do. So I was kind of hoping it was like an open discussion regarding policy, regarding how the strategic reserve would actually work, how go about acquiring XRP, just basically just exploring different topics of that sort. But obviously it wasn't, right? It was just like, hey, Trump, thank you for inviting us. You're the best. Hi, Trump, thank you for inviting us. You're the best. Hey, Trump, thanks for inviting us. You're the best. It's like, dude, we talk about crypto. Stop talking about kissing his ass. That kind of was a little bit, I don't know. We couldn't have done this without you. Basically, it was just a campaign thing, like, hey, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be here type of situation. So I call out shit when I see it, and for the most part, I support Trump pretty much all the way. But I was honestly expecting more from this. I wanted to see more conversation, right? I heard from the Chainlink guy. I really wanted to hear from Brad Garlinghouse. I wanted to, basically, that would have been cool if they went around the room and told, if I'm President Trump, I would say, hey, Brad, what do you envision the next 3 to 5 years in perspective of your company, Ripple? And how could the government help you achieve that goal? That would have been good. See, I should be president. Instead, it was just like, yeah, here, yeah, and it was just kind of being rushed a little bit. So maybe my expectations were higher. Or going to, I don't know, someone like Chainlink and asking him about how his blockchain could help, achieve more success if the government would get out of the way. Or how about what policy being implemented would help something like Chainlink or Ripple or Coinbase, better, to be better efficient, right? It's all about having efficiency at the end of the day. And right now, our financial system is not efficient. I would have loved to hear conversations about how crypto could directly impact the new financial system. How could these things be implemented? Maybe what has to happen, though, is these conversations need to be talked about beforehand and then brought out into a public discussion in front of the media and everybody else, right? Because they don't want people saying, things that aren't true or things that won't happen or a conspiracy or whatever. But I think having these discussions are a good thing because then it opens the door of what's possible when it comes to crypto and the new financial system. So anyways, I think that the crypto summit, from what I saw, was kind of lame. But from behind the scenes, it's probably awesome, and I would love to be in that room. I would do anything to be a fly in the wall, to listen in, to hear what they're talking about. I wish the whole meeting was public, and I wish that they would have talked more about how crypto could revolutionize our financial system and why we're all here in the first place, right? If I'm in that room and Trump called on me, I would say, hey, look, The reason why we're all here is not because of you, Trump. It's because of our love of crypto. And thanks to you, we are allowed to be here. And thanks to you, you know, you're allowing us to move forward because it's all about America first at the end of the day. But from our perspective, it's about crypto and what crypto means to everybody. And the reason why it's so important, Mr. President, is because what pushed us into crypto into the first place, which is the crooked financial system, right? The system that you're also fighting against, Mr. President. You know, Mr. President, you ran on defeating the Washington establishment, the deep state, right? Well, we still have that same type of situation, right? That's in our government. That's a big corrupt problem. That same problem is in crypto. Actually, it's not, right? That's what the fake news wants you to think. The real problem is in the financial system, because we don't live in a people system, Mr. President. We live in a central banking fiat currency debt enslavement system that prints money out of thin air. They loan it to the government with interest attached. Then we, the taxpayer, have to pay it back plus interest. What sort of rigged deal is that? That's why we're in crypto, because it is a better form of money, right? So talk about money, Mr. President. Talk about how crypto can be a better money, because what we have now doesn't work. You know, if you want to talk about inflation and talk about, you know, grocery prices and all that, well, you should have bought crypto, because that would have helped protect your purchasing power from all of this devastation. And honestly, crypto is the solution to all the devastation we've seen because of their reckless banking policies. So basically, we need a new government, which we have, and continue to drain the swamp, which they're doing, and transition us from the old banking system to a new decentralized financial system, right? DeFi, right? Something your son, Mr. President, World Liberty Financial, you guys are a part of, or this is your company, you guys invested in it. It's called World Liberty Financial. It's a DeFi platform. And the reason why you guys are creating the DeFi platform is because centralized finance is a joke. Why would we want to pay a middleman, right? When we can pocket the money, right? So usually a deal is between two people, but the bank always has to get in the way, right? So now with the creation of a smart contract, you don't need that middle person, right? So why don't they talk about that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how much money the American people, why does crypto benefit the American people? Yes, you buy Bitcoin and you hold it and it goes up, but it's more than that, right? It helps American people because, first of all, nobody's making money off me except the miners, right? Bitcoin miners. And that's why I don't even care about Bitcoin, right? That's why we're pushing further along and into things like XRP, right? Where there's no fees. So you have a decentralized ledger versus a central bank who you don't know what's going on, right? Yeah, I mean, when's the last time the Federal Reserve was audited? That, you know, you talk about auditing Fort Knox. Why not audit the Federal Reserve? Why not audit the kingpin, right? I mean, honestly, the Fed is the kingpin. Why don't we audit the head of the snake? I mean, let's just go for it. Let's just go for the throat, right? And what is the throat? It's the Fed. The head of the Fed, right? The Fed head. So, you know, that's, to me, crypto is a weapon to destroy the system we already have, and gold as well, right? So these are the type of discussions that I wish I could hear in that room, right? Because at the end of the day, you know, Trump talks about the deep state and the Washington political establishment, and, you know, you have a government of corrupt, you know, look what Doge is fighting, all the corruptness and just foreign aid and kickbacks and, you know, treason, really. So how can crypto help solve some of those problems? And even go even a step further. What about voting? Mr. President, you said you won in 2020. I believe you. I think you did win, but I think they cheated in a big, big way. So what could blockchain do in order to benefit voting? Why don't we put votes on the blockchain? Everybody can see it. It's completely decentralized. There's no funny business, right? So versus me having to deal with some company that we don't trust, right? Same thing when it comes to taxes, right? Why should we have to work all year long, and then at the end of the February, March, we have to pay taxes? Why can't that be automatically dealt with from point of, like, let's say first of all, you shouldn't even have an income tax. I think that should be completely obliterated. But let's say we still have our income tax and you get paid every 2 weeks. Well, the taxes should be dealt with when you get paid. Why have to pay it at the end of the year? It's just ridiculous. And then people have to get all their tax documents together. And if one number is wrong, you're going to get audited and you're going to get screwed. Like, it shouldn't be so difficult. It should be seamless. It should be in real time. Taxes should be in real time, not all at once at one point of the year, right? But that's just voting. That's just taxes. What about other things? What about the debt, right? Trump says, we're going to pay off the crypto. We're going to pay off the national debt. Maybe we'll hand them a little crypto check, right? And, that I think could be an interesting idea. There was a video that DAI, Digital Asset Investor, put out on his channel, but I can't really play it because it was his membership video, and you have to pay to see his membership videos. So with respect for him, but essentially it was a good video. Here's a screenshot of it here, and essentially it was some type of theory that Trump meeting with Brad Garlinghouse, they shared a meal together. I thought this was interesting right here. If you read this, right, remember when Trump and Brad Garlinghouse, they all sat down and they had a meeting, right, and they were eating, and Stewart says, to top it off, the beef bourguignon, whatever that is, was really good. And then AI says is often used as a metaphor to symbolize a business deal. Well, that's interesting. I mean, come on, what is the statistical probability of that happening? So that was a business deal there, particularly in French business, while serving as blah, 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 blah. So I thought that was interesting. But anyways, maybe what this theory is maybe there is a business deal, right, involving Trump, involving the escrow that Ripple currently has. They have like 50 billion in escrow, right? So what if Trump came in and said, look, we want a strategic reserve with Bitcoin, but we also want it with XRP because Ripple is one of the biggest American fintech companies in America, right? It's the largest American crypto coin on the planet. So we want you to succeed. We want, you've stood the test of time. You've battled the SEC. You've been completely vetted up and down and all around through our crooked government who wanted not a level playing field, but a monopoly. So we want to add you to our strategic reserve, XRP. But we don't want to pay for it using taxpayer money. So why don't you give us a portion of that reserve? And in return, we will put you in a position like you've never been before, involving maybe the new financial system, maybe something, a part of it, the tokenization of bonds, stocks, derivatives, or even something to do with the Fed, or even, I think it's going to be a lot of tokenization, but there's so much more to it than that, right? So that's why I wanted these discussions to be a little bit, and it's kind of interesting because they didn't really say anything about what they're going to do. They basically kicked the media. They kicked the media out, and that was it, right? So that's kind of interesting. It makes you think, well, what are they talking about, right? And you can't say too much because all those people in that room, someone's going to leak the information. The real business meetings happen when it's like one-on-one, or somebody with the president and two other people like Brad Garlinghouse and Stuart Alderati. So, but yeah, that was kind of the theory. Maybe they're negotiating terms of escrow for the strategic reserve, right? And these were things that I would brought up in that roundtable meeting. So anyway, that's my rant about that. And I'll just play just a quick clip here.
But it would still allow them to be the largest corporate holder by far of XRP. Ripple could still be the lender of last resort and all that jazz. Boom. Ripple just solved their largest problem. How the hell do we distribute all this XRP in compliance with applicable laws? This deal will close next week, in Jimmy's opinion.
Whoa.
Trump will then revalue XRP at a significantly higher amount than what is currently trading.
Okay, so I don't know about all that. Basically, what the theory is, conspiracy theory, is basically maybe they negotiated terms of the escrow to pay off the national debt, right? It's like, why would Ripple, or why would President Trump want XRP? Well, if they have it in escrow, right, and the government gets, maybe, let's say they get 20 billion XRP, then they can reset the price like they did with gold, right? Remember, they changed the price of gold? Okay, they could do that with the price of XRP. You would have to declare something. I can't remember what it was, but basically the president would come in and do it, and they would jump the price. Who knows? Maybe it's $10, maybe it's $50, maybe it's $100, maybe it's $10,000. There's just no way to know. But they would pick a number based off the government's needs, right? So the need would be what? The national debt, right? We're $40 trillion in debt, not counting all the unfunded liabilities and all that crazy stuff. So can you imagine Trump balancing the budget by having a reset in the price of crypto negotiated with the terms of the escrow? I mean, that would be insane. Now, these are just theories. This is not true. This is not false. This is just what if, right? I would hope it would be true, and I believe something along those lines could come to reality. I really think so. It's just there's too many coincidences with Ripple and Trump and all the things that we've seen so far. So it makes you wonder, well, what's really going on here? Well, we don't really know yet, right? So that's what I'm saying. I was hoping we could see peel back the layers of this summit, but it was all about just kissing his butt. And I just, oh, thanks, Trump. We couldn't do it without you. Okay. Can someone else please say something else? Can we talk about crypto now? Thanks. So anyways, that's kind of what I'm thinking here. I just, the crypto summit is, we're probably going to know more information coming out tomorrow. Someone's going to, leak some things, because it's all about, you got to have a game plan and you got to talk. And then once it's figured out, then you can kind of roll out different things, like, like go throughout the room, like, hey, Brad, what's your idea? Hey, Mr. President, thank you for having us. This is my idea. This is how I think the next 3 to 5 years is going to look. If we do this, if we do this, if we do this, if we have this regulation and not that regulation, then we could be really successful by doing this and this. That's the kind of talks that we want to hear. And then Mr. President says, oh, yeah, that sounds great. Well, for every one new regulation, we're going to remove 10 old regulations, right? Kind of like, but with crypto, there is no regulation. So it's kind of like, the big boys want to play, and crypto needs to be implemented in our society, right? Whether you talk about crypto or gas fees or whatever, it's going to be a part of how we transact. We might not see it on the front end, but on the back end, all the payment rails and all the ledger systems, right? That's where all the magic happens, and that stuff needs to be regulated, right? So that's kind of what is getting pushed here. So we'll see. But the price didn't really do anything except go down, of course, right? Why would it go up? It's got to go down during the meeting. Can't go up, right? No, but we talked about that, right? We said, look, what's happening here is, yeah, that looks bearish as hell right now. This looks bearish to me. It looks like it's just gonna roll over. I mean, I don't know, man. It looks pretty sketchy here. What I'm hoping here is, I mean, we really need to hold here, right? We don't want to go down any further. We really need to hold 230. 230 is my line there. So that puts you right above here still. You would not, here's the low right here. This is your low. So if we come up and take the low, then what did we say? Well, we talked about 3 waves up, and then we get 3 waves down. So if we did take the low, it's okay, but we need to quickly come back up in 5, right? So 3 up, 3 down, and then maybe 3 up, right? So again, the market moves in 5s and 3s, right? So if we zoom out, we could see back over here, for example, right? You had 3 down, you had 3 up, and then you had 3 back down. Okay, so that was a 3-wave move, and then that exploded the price, right? Same thing here. You had a 3-wave move down. So you had a 1, 2, 1, 2, right? So here we are, and the idea here is that this is 3 down, 3 up, and 3 back down if you don't count the wick. If you do, then you could say, well, this is a expanded flat here, right? So we have 3, 3, 5. And this is a 1, and this is an ABC2, and here's another 1, and here's an ABC2. And we should level off and then start to go up. So really that's the bullish way to look at it. The bearish way to look at it is that this is, let's say this is 3, right? And then this would be 1, 2, 3 up. So we would have 3 down, then we would get 3 up. Or you could even say this is 5, and then you would get 3 back down. And then basically the 3-wave move would look like this. Boom, 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 something like that. And then go up. So that's the bearish and the bullish idea. Which one's it going to be? Well, let's hope for the bull. But this price action right here, I just don't like it here. I don't like it. See, this needs to be reversed. You see how it came up like this? It came up like this. We don't want that. What we want is we want it to do this. We want this to be upside down, right? So if I flip it upside down, see, that looks a little bit better, right? You got an impulse, a pullback, and you're starting to come back up, right? But you're going up in 3 here. So, yeah, let's do this here. If we remove the wicks, now it looks a little bit better, right? Now I could see clearly 5 waves here, right? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then I see an impulse, and then obviously we're kind of dumping here, but we need to hold. We need to hold. We need to hold the line. Hold the line. Seriously, hold the line. And then we can get rolling again. So we're right. We're playing with fire, all right? And we don't, when we get down to these levels here, I mean, we're playing with fire. So 230 is is the level we need to hold. So let's see if we could do that. You know, when I zoom in, you do have 5 waves here, and it looks like you have 3 down, 3 up, and then 3 back down. So maybe this is a 1 and this is a 2 here. That's the bullish way to look at it. Let's bring the wicks back. There we go. And why is the RSI always on the top? No, that's not what. So there we go. Let's see if we could look a little bit closer. There we go. So yeah, maybe this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a wave 1. We have 3 down, we have 3 up, and then maybe, right, this is 3 back down. So we have a 3-wave pullback for a 2. And maybe our 3-wave pullback lands us right around that 230 area. And that's the area we hold. That's by the dip. And then we go back up, because what we could see here is a larger ABC, right? So this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A. This could be 3 down for your B, and then we can go up in 5 again like this, and that would be C. And then that would just be a 3-wave move. So then in that instance, it would be very sketchy, because then once we get, even if we get all the way back to 280, even pushing $3, we're still not out of the woods, because we have a 5-wave move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that could be a wave 1, this could be a wave 2, and then we're going to come all the way down into a wave 3 and crash and burn, right? So that's the real deal scenario, right? So we don't want that. But if this is a B wave, then we would look for some kind of reaccumulation, like or even 3 down and then go, because we don't know if this is going to be A, B, and then C, like something more complex, something like that, where we have 3 up, 3 down, and then continue. So it's all about what happens in these areas here, and we're still dumping. It looks very bearish. If I flip it upside down, look how bullish that actually looks. You kind of got a cup and you got a handle here. You know, you're starting to break out. Very scary. I mean, it's only the 5-minute chart, but still, you know, this could lead into something big. So we got to watch it here, especially as we go into the weekends, right? The weekends are very fragile. They're illiquid. So it's kind of sketchy, right? So this is our do or die line right in here. Same thing with everything else. I think this could turn into a B wave like that, and then come down and then go up. See, the problem, here's the problem. The problem is when this wave came down, so I'm going to draw the same wave over here, it came right back up. That's not what you want to do. Instead of coming right back up, then it just puts you in a weird position. Instead, you should just consolidate, and then you could go back up, and you have all that power here, this electricity down here. This, you're just going up and down, up, you know, it's just, it slows you down. So, yeah, I don't, ADA looks more bullish to me right now than XRP. Let's see, but it still looks like it's going down. It looks to me like you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it actually, in that perspective, it looks more bearish because you got 5 waves instead of 3 for XRP and ADA. Litecoin. So anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. Nothing's really changed here. Looking for Litecoin to hold in here and to work its way back up in a retrace. If it starts to break down, then obviously that's gonna be interesting, because I don't think it would, because you have this beautiful flat here and you have a 5-wave move and you have a 3-wave pullback. So this should hold right here. If it doesn't hold, then I would imagine this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And then that would be 5, 3, and then 5. It would just be kind of big though. So boom, boom, and then boom down here. So there's your 1, there's your 2, but it'd be a little bit too big. That's why I would like it to stay here. So this is the area we need to hold here. So let's see if we could do it. What else? Bitcoin. Well, for Bitcoin, it looks a little bit sketchy, man. Really sketchy. Because you have all of this resistance here. You broke down, you back tested it, you made a higher low, but then you back tested it again. So I'm wondering if this is a triangle, a fifth wave. 1, 2, 3, and then this is 4, and then we get 5. You know? So this could be a fourth wave triangle. So we have A, B, C, D, and then we'll get E like that, and then we'll go down. And then that will be the end of the wave. Because then what you have is an A, B, C. And then in wave C, you need 5 waves. So you got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you could argue that it is 5, right? You could say, well, no, it is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then extended fifth, and that's a diag. And that could be possible, right? But what if this is 7? Otherwise known as a 7-wave crashing structure. Very common. Not super common, but any way you slice it and dice it here, it looks 3-wave-ish. So we really want this to hold. If it doesn't, then obviously maybe we have another wave down here, but I don't like the way it's looking here. We got 3. It looks like it's creating a triangle. And where do triangles show up? Fourth waves. So if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, A, B, C, 2, that's 3, and then we have a fourth wave triangle here for a 4, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here for a 5. So that would be interesting. Yeah, and that would be A, B, and then that would be a 5 wave down here for wave C, and then go up. So that would be our Hail Mary right there if we had to come on down. Monero looks like a triangle too. See, if this looks like an X wave or a B wave. You have A, and then you have this B wave triangle, and then you're going to come down in a C wave. A, B triangle, C. So that's what I think we're going to move down. I think we're coming down, man. That sucks for Monero. And I think that would finish out our flat here. So I just don't really see the count, though, for that. I mean, if this is a 3-wave move, and then we have 3 here, okay, and then we have 3 here. I guess that makes sense. So we have 3 down, we have 3 up, and then now we're getting 3 back down. And then basically boom, 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 that's the flat right there. So boom, boom, and then boom down here. That's the flat. So we're moving our way, moving our way, moving our way. So yeah, and then we get down here, right? And then what it is now you have, okay, I like that. So we have 3 down, we have 3 up, right? Is 3 up there? And then we have 3, 3, and then 3. Yeah. So then that would be Yeah, 3 up, and then 3 down. Yeah, that makes sense. So 3 down, 3 up, 3 down. Right, so that's the flat. It's a weird, ugly, long, elongated flat. This is so long in here. But you basically have the flat like that. And this is a B wave, the triangle we're in. So that's kind of what I'm thinking now. So yeah. All right, let's look at HBAR here. So HBAR looks completely different, right? It looks better. It looks better because it looks to me, I just don't like this HBAR chart. There we go. Let's do this. There we go. What is HBAR doing? Is that a triangle? I mean, it could be A, B, C, D, E, but it looks like it would break. It'd be 1, 2, 3, fourth wave triangle, then 5. Yeah, so A, B, C, D, E. Possibly. SHIB. SHIB looks interesting because kind of got a little bit of a falling wedge here. You're also back testing this trend line here, right? So here's your downward trend line. You break out of it, and then you have a falling wedge down into it. Not only that, but you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A. You got a B, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for C. A, B, C. So, but no divergence yet. But you are getting oversold in a way. 2-day chart. The daily looks okay. I mean, it's got to hold though, you know. So. See, that's the thing. Like, we're still drizzling down. You have a big dump. You have you automatically retrace, so people think, okay, it's a little bit of relief, and then you drizzle down and down and down and down and down and torture, and it could do that for several more weeks. It could keep just doing this, right, and then make people think we're breaking down, and then all of a sudden it just rampages. So it's all about trying to catch that bottom. So I've tried catching it here, had to let it go. I caught it a little bit down here, so maybe this rolls over, I'll have to let it go, you know. It's kind of the unfortunate thing, but if you don't take the risk, you don't get, you know, getting the bottom would be pivotal. Not necessarily ultimate bottom, but very close to it. I do like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we got plenty of waves here. So I'm wondering if this is just kind of rounding out, you know. So far it looks bearish. We're just bleeding here. So yeah, we were making higher highs, higher lows, and then now here's your first lower low, and now you're kind of gonna go down. So what's doing theta? Fader, French fries and taters and thater. Thater done. Gator done. I think we've got that same line that I put for SHIB here, and you can see, right, we broke out of it, and now we're coming down and we're retesting it. So as long, I mean, if we could stay above that line, it is sloping down, so it shouldn't be too hard. But yeah, that should be where we would want to see the bottom come in. The 2-day has never been this oversold since back in July of 23. Look at this. When we came down here, the 2-day landed here. We are technically oversold on the 2-day chart. So we're getting very close, guys, to a bottom, I think, or at least a short-term reversal or a bounce or something. Because, yeah, let's see. What does the daily look like? The daily, we got bullish divergence on the daily. So you could see right there, we're slanting down, we're slanting up. It's always going to start on the daily first before it migrates up. So yeah, I mean, we got 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the 5th. So I mean, we should be really close. Do we have 5 in the 5th? Yes, we have it. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have the divergence. So this should be the low. I mean, you know, it should be. It should be very, very close to the low. You know, if this comes up in 3 like this and then we get one more low, I mean, it's pretty much, this should be in that area of the low. But yeah, Theta looks okay. It doesn't look like it's aggressively selling like the other ones are. You know, it's a little bit down, but that's okay. You got a little bit of a 3-wave move here. I mean, you got 5 here, right? So you have 5 off the low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hope that's 5. It looks like 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So we'll see. We'll see. Slide that down there. The price I'm looking for Theta is going to be obviously the top part of this, right there. So that would be at $2, basically, like 190. So right around there would be the spot. And we could just get rid of that. So there you go. And getting to this line up here, right? So I think we're seeing some kind of wave 2 in here. For example, we saw the same thing with Bitcoin over here, potentially seeing that same kind of thing with Theta, except, right, so you have that there, A, B, C, A, B, C. Back to the bottom, back to the bottom. So the difference, though, is Bitcoin had 5 waves off the low. Theta only has 3, right? So we do have 3 up, and we do have 3 down. So, I mean, we're golden, and we have 5 in this wave, and we have 5 in this wave, and we have 5 in the 5th. And we're right at the low. So, I mean, this should be the low. I mean, I don't know. Like, this is do or die here, right? This should be the low. From a weekly perspective, right? Meaning, we could wick down here again, but we shouldn't have another candle trading below this candle, below 95 cents. You know, wicking is different, but a body close below $1 should not be continuing. We're about to have the lowest weekly close, we've ever had on Theta since all the way back February of 24. So just a year ago. Yeah, that's pretty much it. HBAR, we looked at it, I think. ADA, did we look at ADA? It's going to be the same as HBAR, pretty much. Yeah, so I'm looking for this here. I mean, this, you could have a W here. We could see a W pattern come out of this. And that's what I think. If this rolls down, then you have A, B, C. If it rolls up, then you have a B wave, which still you would need a C, right? But if it rolls up and it breaks this high, then you could have maybe a flat or a fourth wave. 1, 2, 3, and then you get 4 and then 5. And then A, B, C, and then another, hopefully. Keep going. Go and never stop. Just go up, 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 and never ever stop, right? So yeah, I think we're in a good spot. I just think we're in a dangerous spot. I think we should be wrapping up here, right? Because we have a beautiful 3-wave move. You got a nice, I mean, but you do have 3 up. So that here's another issue too. If you wanted to be super bearish, is what if this is 3 down, and now we have 3 up? Well, guess what? Now you need freaking 5 down or 3 down, and then it becomes a really big move, and then we go up, right? And then that would really suck. I just don't see the proportions of it. It would just look too big, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So anyway, that'll do it. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I think that should wrap it up. Remember, this is not financial advice. Filecoin looking okay. Kind of creating a little bit of a bottom here. Just looking real quick here. Matic. You got some mega bullish divergence there on Matic. I mean, you know, so there should be some kind of bottom coming in here. Because again, they don't last. You go up, they come down, they come up, they come down. Eventually, you're going to get a pop. So eventually, you're going to get a pop. The question is, can we capitalize on it before it happens, right? So let's see if we can do it. I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.